Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire. Today we are reviewing episodes 2 and 3 of Wheel of Time Season 1. Okay, here's my overall thought of these two episodes. Just as in my previous video, it's not going to be a numerical value or a grade just because I'm waiting to see a little bit more before I make that judgment, but my overall thought is that in these two episodes, exploring the broader world, splitting up the characters as a plot device, and then introducing new ones really helped me to buy into the world more and invested me much more into the series, which is why these two episodes are combined in one video, because I watched episode 2 and really quickly after watched episode 3 because I was super into it. So yeah, if you watched my previous video, you know that I had issues kind of buying into the world just based on the aesthetic look of it and some plot choices that were made. But I'm really loving it now. It's really warming on me, and this broader world has really helped me to buy in more. So yeah, this is really positive uptick from the first episode, which wasn't bad, just not as good as I was hoping it to be. And not as good, in my opinion, as these episodes. So let's jump into it a little bit more in detail. Alright, so first, plot. In episode 2 and 3, we see, very similarly to how we see in the book, we see the characters are split up. We're into little pods, and I just find that as a plot device, both in the book and in this TV show, works really well for this story. In the book, once the characters were split up, and we have Perrin and Egwene, and Moiraine and Lan and Nynaeve, and Mat and Rand as their separate groups, I felt that really strengthened the story because we were able to see more into each character because they were in a smaller group. When you have a chapter that's devoted to just the 2 characters or 3 characters, you are able to see a lot more of them and learn more about them, as opposed to when they were in the big group. I found that sometimes you were losing certain characters at certain times. So yeah, both in the book and in the episode, I really appreciate the split up. I think it's a smart move, and it worked really well for me. It also helped to build dynamics. Again, I found it hard to understand the dynamics of everyone when they're all put together, whereas once they were split up, you were able to build or develop more relationships that were easier for me to see and understand. The relationship between Mat and Rand, which is starting to get on the fritz a little bit, which I think was handled really well. Really enjoyed that. Perrin and Egwene, I liked that dynamic because you don't see much of them together as a unit in the first episode or the first section of the book. And as well, I mean, we all know that I love Nynaeve is probably my favorite character so far in all 4 books that I've read, and closely behind, definitely in my top 3 or 5 characters is Lan. So it was really great to have Nynaeve back and have that interaction begin and that relationship develop. So that was really great. I loved that plotting choice. Along the lines of plotting, I really liked the resolution of Nynaeve from episode 1. I was kind of concerned that it was going to be really an outrageous resolution, how could she possibly survive that Trolloc, yoinking her away and things like that. But I felt like it worked really well. I liked the symbolism of her hiding in the pond, in the pool, which we had seen earlier. And yeah, that really worked for me. Yeah, pacing wise, I feel like episode 2 was really great, really strong as they moved as a unit. It was, not too breakneck that you were losing track of things, but also not slowing really too much or falling behind. Episode 3 was the same once they had split up. I felt like it was going at a pretty good clip. It flagged a little bit towards the end for me, but not too much to really be a super negative. So yeah, pacing wise, really worked well. Plotting, splitting up the characters, the resolution of Nynaeve's first episode conundrum really worked for me. So plotting, pacing, great. Closely behind characters integrated with this, the introduction of new characters, as well as being able to see other characters more, really worked. I already off the top in episode 1 was invested in the main characters, the main 5 for sure, the Two Rivers gang, but also Moiraine and Lan. I was into that dynamic and into their characters. Moraine, I'm still searching for, trying to catch the vibe of. I think it's been I think she's been acted well by Rosamund Pike. I'm just trying to find what they're going with for that character. I think because in the book she's such a dynamic character, a mysterious character that you really don't know about that much. I'm still trying to figure out where she's going in this one. It's still like rediscovering her, which is pretty cool actually. On top of this, the introduction of new characters has been really fabulous. Obviously in these 2 episodes we've met the White Cloaks, which were really interesting. I'm really liking that. The way they look, the armor, the outfits, that's helping me to see a clear aesthetic for this world that we're in. So I'm really enjoying that, as well as the Tinkers. I love their look. I love the caravans. That whole thing has also helped me to kind of see this fuller world. So I'm really enjoying that. Also, Tom the Gleeman, it was great to see him introduced. I'm waiting to see more. I want to see where that character is going. But yeah, that was exciting. Another small note, I really love the introduction of song in this. I thought that was really great. There's so much song in the book. Poetry, prose written by Robert Jordan to flesh out this world that he's created. So I really liked how that was integrated, both with the 2 Rivers people singing, which I thought was really wonderful, especially the lore that came with that after from Moraine. And then the Gleeman performance I thought was really awesome. And yeah, I'm excited to see how music is integrated more into the story now that we can hear the melodies and hear them singing and watch the performances, which is something you obviously miss out when you're reading the book because you have to make that up in your head. So yeah, I'm really excited to see more of that. Awesome. Okay, moving into the second portion of this, which is like the look, which was kind of my biggest problem from the first episode, was I just wasn't into the look. I wasn't, the first episode wasn't presenting me with the wider world, which I was hoping it would. Even if we're only focusing on a small location, I wanted to be able to sense the wider world around. Yeah, and in my opinion, that first episode didn't really convince me of a wider world. I felt like I was still, kind of on a stage, on a set or things like that. But this second and third episode really helped to broaden that world. Part of that came in with the new introduction of characters, also the new locations, seeing the new towns, seeing the new scenery, wilderness that we saw, as well as the Shadar Logoth, the City of Shadow. I felt like that was really well done. I loved the look of that. Even the Tinker's caravans, all that kind of stuff really helped me to see the wider world, and I feel like in these 2 episodes we were really introduced to it, and it really began to feel like a living, breathing place, which I think is so evident in the book. From the get-go you can sense that this is a wider world. So yeah, I appreciated that came through in the second and third episode for me. Obviously, I know that this is not an issue for everyone, and when I was watching reviews later of episode 1, I realized that I was kind of in the minority of that, but that was just the way I felt, and I really feel like it's only getting better from here, that I'm seeing this wider world and that the TV show is convincing me of it. So that was really, really exciting. On the costumes front, the look of it, like the characters and stuff like that, the introduction of the White Cloaks and the Tinkers really helped me to see a little bit of a clearer aesthetic. Obviously, I've mentioned before that the aesthetic that this TV show is going for, which is perfectly valid, is not the same as what I had hoped for or what I had envisioned, which is not an issue. They're allowed their own creative vision, but I just wasn't seeing it yet. I was hoping for a more historical English Renaissance style look in the clothing, whereas this kind of came across to me as a muddling of a bunch of different things. But the introduction of new characters with clearer aesthetics really helped me to kind of see the meshing that they're going for and the kind of through time look. There's bits picked up from every era. Of course, I'm the kind of person who would have liked stronger, bolder fashion choices, hair choices, hats, just because that's the kind of thing I love. And I really love medieval and Renaissance and historical fashion, so it would have been cool to see more of that, but obviously that doesn't have to be the TV's vision if they have their own. So it's not like bad. I'm just like, man, I wish it went my way. But whatever, you know what I mean. Overall, I think these episodes were really, really great. They were definitely a step up for me from episode 1. I finished episode 1 and was like, oh, I don't know how I really feel about this. I don't know where this is going. But episode 2 and 3 really helped to propel me into a place of, I can't wait for next episode. I want to know what other people think. Like, I want to, reread the books or continue reading or all those kinds of things. So they really hyped me up into the rest of this season, which is super exciting. And why I don't want to make, grade values or numerical values for these episodes, just because I know that my opinion would be changing as I got more information. So, well, that's it for this video. I've really enjoyed putting this together. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have an opinion on this, on maybe something I've said, maybe something I've missed about these episodes, absolutely leave a comment. I'd love to discuss this with you. I really want these videos to kind of be not just me talking at you, but really just opening a discussion for these episodes. So if you have something you want to say, leave a comment. I will definitely be reading them and responding to most of them, so please do that. And if you're enjoying the content I'm making, whether it be Wheel of Time TV show content, which is linked, or my book review of the Wheel of Time series, or any of my other content, subscribe for more. That is a super great way to support me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode of Wheel of Time. I'm looking forward to filming another review for you and talking about the rest of this season together. So I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.